All right. Bukayo Saka is back in full Arsenal training, and that means he might be ready for the game against Real Madrid as they host it. That is next week. Smash the like button, comment and share. Next week, but one right. And we're obviously going to be talking about other players that have going to hit to return, Kyle Palmer, and even the player that has always on really fluid form, that is Nicolas Jackson, is also back into that so much Chelsea squad. So smash the like button, comment and share. If you're totally watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Rokani David is my name, and hope you guys are really having fun. How are you? I know I've been missing me, but we are really trying to obviously get back to where we deserve to be. Now, let's obviously start it off with Bukayo Saka. As we jetted into the international break, I did a story that him and Martinelli are gonna be back, and the manager confirmed to us that for Martinelli, his comeback was really close, and he saw to it that it is really one of those manifestations that obviously came to pass, because you saw him return when United was drawing with Arsenal, and he was part of that Arsenal side that drew with PSV 2-2 at the Emirates, and then that Arsenal side that went ahead to beat Chelsea by 1-0. Goal scored by the goal was scored by Mikel Merino. You remember that very well. So that's how things went ahead to pan out, and now it is Saka returning, and Arteta's words have come to pass, or have come to reality, as he told us that it's gonna be Martinelli coming first and Bukayo Saka will obviously come second. Now, this is a quote or a post that was made by Fabrizio Romano yesterday, and it said, "Hello again," says Bukayo Saka on Instagram. He's back in training with Arsenal squad. He will be also available to face Real Madrid in the UEFA Champions League quarterfinals. That is it for Bukayo Saka. And I think if there is a boast that most of you will obviously want to hear, if I told you an Arsenal fan, there is no boast that you would want to hear other than this, because it screams success at Arsenal. Because the beauty of this is, before Arsenal goes ahead to obviously face the side of Real Madrid, Saka has 2 matches to obviously find himself featuring in there. You understand? He has 2 matches. He's gonna see himself featuring in there. And what are those matches? It's Fulham and Arsenal, and it will depend on the decision that Mikel Arteta will obviously make. That is on Tuesday, because at 9:45 Arsenal is going to be hosting Fulham. Now, the decision up to the manager to either see Saka start or really come off the bench. Then Saturday 5th April, before they play Real Madrid on Tuesday, it will be up to the manager again to obviously come up and really tell us what exactly he's up to as the manager for the club of Arsenal. You know, Everton away, will he really risk him to start, or he'll obviously play him off the bench? Now, I don't know of these games which one Saka will start, but I know in my mind Arsenal is really looking bad onto the Premier League table. 29 games played by Arsenal. They are 12 points behind the side of Liverpool, right? Now, 12 points behind the side of Liverpool, that means that there is a 10% chance that Liverpool can drop points and Arsenal win its games. And that means the manager will obviously first see to it that he really plays Bukayo Saka sparingly, and he has to use these 2 games for Bukayo Saka to regain his form. I think that is the most important bit of his return, that the manager will have to use this to see to it that Bukayo Saka goes ahead to obviously regain his fitness. For example, in the game of Fulham, you can play him like 30 minutes. Then in the game of Everton, you can play him like maybe some 35-40, as we prepare him to see to it that obviously comes up to take on Real Madrid. Because I know the most important game of Arsenal this time round, it's all about Real Madrid. A game they're obviously going to be playing on the 8th, and I think around 15th and 14th, 15th and 16th. That's the most important game. Those are the most important games that this side is to play. And if you know, the side of Arsenal is obviously going to be really doing the needful. So, I'm really excited for this game. And you know what my stance has always been, that if Bukayo Saka can use the games of Everton and Fulham to obviously at least gain just 60-70% of the match fitness that we all need him to be at, then he can be a threat when they're taking on Real Madrid. Because when you are having the threat of Bukayo Saka, Martin Odegaard, Martinelli, Leandro Trossard, I know a lot can happen at the Emirates Stadium. I tell you, a lot can happen there. Though very many people are like, Arsenal has nowhere to go. But I tell you, Madrid, I think they're going to be very scary next season, because Trent is on his way to Real Madrid. Then they're looking to sign in a central defender, a midfielder, and maybe another forward. So Madrid next season will obviously look a threat. But right now, I know Mbappe can be silenced, Vinicius can be silenced, and there is a story I'm obviously going to be doing, because two of those might be out of the game of Arsenal because of the injury threats that they've gonna hate to have. So we are waiting to see how that pans out in here onto the Rokani Media Football. But Bukayo Saka is back in full Arsenal training session, and what a boost for the fans of Arsenal that have been here watching this for a very long period of time. And I know you people will find yourselves in a better position of really getting it to where you want it to be. Not so. So, Bukayo Saka back in full Arsenal training session. I don't know what that means, but the big question is, where does this leave Ethan Nwaneri? That is it. Where does it leave Ethan Nwaneri? Because if Ethan Nwaneri is to obviously be considered and his form put into consideration, I would start him in the game of Fulham, play like 45 minutes or 60. I take him off. I bring on Bukayo Saka. If you remember the goal he scored during the international break when he was playing or made his debut for the under-21s, you can as well know that he has gone ahead, obviously, make that far post color his trademark goal. That is Bukayo Saka. That is Nwaneri for you. But I know Saka coming back at this juncture will help him really not have a lot of pressure on him. Because in the past two games of Arsenal, I think he never really looked good. So Saka coming up, it will obviously take the pressure off the shoulders of the man known as Ethan Nwaneri, and a lot will obviously happen in there. Now, from Bukayo Saka, let's obviously go to Chelsea and see what good is happening at Chelsea. Looks like Chelsea has some big news. Two players that missed the game of Arsenal are really back in training and reporting fast on duty on the 26th of this month. Nicolas Jackson back to training with Chelsea squad on the 26th of March and ready to be available after the break. So that is Nicolas Jackson for you, coming in through to represent for the club of Chelsea. And why is the return of Nicolas Jackson very important? We all know that he's one of those that has gone ahead obviously be very pivotal into the games of football that Chelsea have gone ahead to obviously play and see themselves really winning. And when you look at the table, his return is really will give Chelsea a very huge hope, because they are playing Tottenham Thursday 3rd and Brentford on Sunday. It gives them huge hope. 9 goals in the Premier League. That's what he has onto his name. That is Nicolas Jackson. He has so far played 23 games. That means he has gone ahead to miss 6 Chelsea games this season. And 9 goals and 5 assists. Those are 14 goal involvements in 23 matches. That means every 2 games, he either scores a goal or he puts in an assist. That is it. So that is Nicolas Jackson for you. And by the last season, he scored 14 goals in the Premier League and 5 assists, meaning that he has already equaled the number of assists he made last season and is yet to surpass them. But for goals, he's 5 goals less. And I know in the remaining 9 games of the Premier League, he'll obviously do the needful. Now, the other player is Cole Palmer. He missed out on the game they played against Arsenal. You remember that very well. And after missing out on that game, he also missed out on the 2 games that England played against Estonia and is it Andorra, and he was out of action. But today he has also reported in training. As Fabrizio Romano confirms to us that Carl Palmer back in training with Chelsea's squad today, as well as Noni Madueke. So that is a triple injury bust. If you've been following up this side of Chelsea, they've been missing these 3 players, especially Madueke and Nicolas Jackson. Now, their return obviously means a lot to the side of Chelsea. Why? Chelsea want to go and play in the Champions League, and they are placed 4th. Newcastle is at 47 points. They have a game in hand, and they have to host Manchester United. And I think they have to play away at Manchester United. And the return of Nicolas Jackson obviously just makes it a very hugely competitive team to obviously find themselves really winning almost every game they have to play in those remaining. They're having Tottenham at home, they're having Brentford away, Ipswich at home, Fulham away, Everton at home, Chelsea at home, Newcastle away, Man United at home, Nottingham Forest. You understand? Nottingham Forest away on the 25th. So that's what these sides are supposed to be doing, to see to it that all goes on well as planned. So Chelsea is really having 3 players back. I don't know whether it really sends it screams hope when these players are really back. I don't know what your thoughts are about it, but please feel free to go into the comment section and tell me what it means for Bukayo Saka to be back in full Arsenal training. And if I told you Mikel Arteta, do you start him immediately in the game of Fulham, or you play him for some few minutes in the game of Fulham and Everton, and he starts the game of Real Madrid? All else, you really do vice versa. And what do you make about the triple injury boost at Chelsea? Carl Palmer, Nicolas Jackson, and Noni Madueke are back. So thank you guys for watching through. Rokani David is my name, and see you when you see me. I'm out for now, and I remain a one Rokani David in here. Continue to subscribe because we want to hit 26,000 subscribers, and there is a very big story that is coming up next. That's why you shouldn't obviously miss out on subscribing to our beautiful channel. I'm out. Bye bye for now. See you later.